began, I can't begin to know him, but then I know it's growing strong. Was in the spring, then spring became a summer. Who'd have believed you'd come along? Touching hand, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. I'd be inclined to believe they never would. But now I look at the night, it don't seem so lonely. We fill it up with only two. And when I hurt, burden runs off my shoulder. How I can hurt when holding you. Warm, touching warm, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. I'd be inclined to believe they never would. No, 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 no. Hey, how you doing out there, Guitar Heroes? All right, with Love, Neil Diamond, 1969. Actually, kind of one of his later hits. Most of them came in the mid-60s. Sweet Caroline. So if you're familiar with the song, we have this really long horn section at the beginning, do 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 do, all of that, and then we end up with we're on kind of with the E. We're on an E primarily at the beginning, and there's a little bit of, and then go into the A. Where it began, D. I can begin to know in A, but then I know it's growing strong. E, A, when in the spring, D, spring became a summer, A, who would have believed you've come along? Okay, so we've got two verses, they're exactly the same, and then we have this, I guess it's kind of a chorus, and well, in this case, the original tune, to be an original tune with these chords, you'd be at a capo at 2. And that was a little too high, hitting that high notes on the chorus, so I just left the capo off. So you can kind of do what you like. But if you want to play along with the original, capo would have to be on the 2. Yeah, so other than that, let's go into the kind of the chorus. A. So let's do the last line here. Who would have believed you've come along? And then we go to an A as our first, and then we have this A6, and I'm doing a bar across the first, which really I think is closer to it, probably a D major 7. I think that's what that is. So I'm holding down the first, second, and third strings, and let's see if this matters. Yeah, I think to get the A6, then I think you have to hold down the D string too, and then play the A open. But it actually sounds better to me to just do the first 3 songs and do that D major 7. Touching hands, E. Reaching out, D. Touching me, touching you. on E there, and now we're going to go into the famous line, A, Sweet Caroline, doo-doo-doo, good times never seem so good. E, and then exactly the same thing again, A, I'd be inclined, doo-doo-doo, to believe they never would. E, and then we have a D, but now I'm. Now actually you could play two chords to that, now, but now I'm, and it's a C sharp minor and a B minor, which makes so much more complexity to something that's actually kind of simple. So I just leave it as a D, but now I'm, and now we're going to go in the second verse. Look at the night, A, D, it don't seem so lonely, A, we fill it up with only two. So the second verse, exactly the same as the first. We repeat that chorus again, and then we have that horn instrumental thing is going again. Chorus gets repeated one more time, and then we just fade out with Sweet Caroline. So not a horribly complex song, but it can be if you were going to, let's say, pick out all of the notes in the horn section, which I've seen somebody do. Makes it much more complicated. For our purposes, we're trying to keep things as simple as we can. And this, under this condition, basically we got an E, we got an A, and we got a D, and then we've got this D major 7, which I think sounds the best. And that's basically it. Now, again, it can be embellished, and obviously every song can be much more complex. But this makes it fairly simple. We got basically a 3-chord tune, and it makes it good. And it's a singer song to start out with, really. Anyway, so I really like it from that perspective. Okay, so just keep in mind now, you want to be in the original key. Capo at number 2. There you go. Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond, 1969. Great little tune. Very popular in Boston, I hear. Hope you got something out of this lesson. Take it easy out there, and we'll see you next time.